I'll come back. 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 I'll come back.
Well, there's a drink, and I feel ready. Let's do this. Wait for the ad to be done. Wait for the ad to be done. Wait for the ad to be done. All I'm getting right now is anime girls, and I mean, like, I'm not complaining, but I'm pretty sure that's not what this cast is about.
I
mean, if we
I,
could
I,
get
kn-
Guargura on the cast, I would lose my shit.
Christ in a cracker.
I'll be honest. I would like to get Iron Mouse on.
Why are you guys like
I don't.
this?
I mean, she's not even my favorite, but I would love to have her on. Oh my god, she's
Okay, you
hilarious.
have a favorite.
Um, by voice actually.
Well, now
I
that I'm
prefer. Yeah, I prefer Melody's voice actually.
well,
Oh
now
my
that I'm done being disappointed in my friends, I believe we are ready to go.
All right, all right, all right, all right. 5, 4, 3, 2, cut here. Hello and welcome to the Barcast, where the bar gets lower every single week. Your bartenders for this evening are a non-pencil.
I'm drinking sadness beer.
We have Ravage,
I guess I'm making her drink Sadness beer.
Flammenwerfer,
I'm drinking water. Hail hydrate.
Milk, and my name is Flutterpriest. This week, we have a very special guest. Not that any other week we don't have very special guests, unless it's Enigma, but we wouldn't call him a guest. Uh, this particular writer has made an absolute monumental rise in the year of 2021 on FimFiction. You may know them as Lynwood, but I know them as Lynwood.
Hello.
Well, hello and welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now then, let's get a little of the boiler text out of the way, boilerplate, whatever, for those who may not have tuned in before. Hello and welcome to the Barcast. You may hear other episodes of us on places like iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and other places where you can digest your
YouTube.
podcast-related material. And,
YouTube.
of course, on YouTube, where you can find more of our videos, including SCP readings and more. Shit. Yeah, I have completely lost my like momentum now because of you. We're streaming live on Twitch right now, which means that the lovely non-pencil is going to be watching a stream for questions from the viewers. Pencil, where are questions that we don't ask our guest?
We will not be asking our guests any questions that are too personal, like their social security number, where they work, or their home address. We don't do that. We will also not be asking them questions that are incredibly rude or inappropriate, just slightly rude or inappropriate. You know the deal. You know who you are. Don't make me break out the ban hammer. You can ask the questions in the chat, or you can go to the thread. I will be posting the thread in a moment for everyone. And while we are doing that, we will be playing a drinking game where every time someone says a word, you drink. Priest, what's the word and how's it work?
Yes, our word. Where's my stream window? I don't know what the word is.
It's story. Oh my fucking god.
Story.
It's story. We're screwed. So the way this works is that anytime you hear us say the word story, please take a nice, healthy, responsible drink and just have a great old time. We don't want to send someone to the hospital again. So please drink responsibly. But without further ado, let's get fucking drunk. And we've got some basic interview questions that we're going to start out with. I hope you're ready, Linwood.
Ask away, I guess.
All right. Now, for people who listen to this show every week and may not know who you are, let's introduce you a little bit. Who are you and what do you do for the fandom?
I'm Lynwood, and I am a writer. I wrote one story that drink, by the way,
Oh God.
got
It
real
begins.
popular. And I guess a lot of people like that one, and then that's pretty much it.
Oh, you're too.
I don't.
You posted a story yesterday. Like, what are you
Oh,
talking
right.
about?
I kind of forgot. Okay, I guess I can talk about my other stuff. I have accidentally just put my pull tab into the drink. That was an accident.
Proud
Oh,
of you.
no.
I released another story after that big one. That was like a little one. It was like a one shot that I wrote for competition that just did not place at all, and I was like, nice. And then I started work on another one that I actually really like a lot. It did not take off at all. Barely anyone reads it, but I am a big fan of it because I had a great time writing it. And like I enjoy reading it, I guess. That's kind of a weird thing to say.
Mhm.
But just because I know how much work and planning went into it, it's just to describe it very briefly without spoiling anything, because how much information I say about it kind of depends on how it would affect how you read it. It's a bunch of storylines that are mixed up, that each have their own little miniature plot, but work together to tell a larger story.
I gotcha. So like a non-linear narrative.
Yes, a nonlinear narrative, and it's told with specifically limited information in limited chapter blocks. So it's up to the reader to figure out what's going on, um, who the main characters are, where they are in relation to each other, and what it all means.
Well. Would you look at that similar story on the right? When you look at this story that you're writing, what do you know?
I recognize that story, Pencil.
Similar to Broken Bindings. That's a glowing review in my book. So quite literally. So
I've never
also,
read Broken Bindings, but I've looked at it there on the similar tab many, many times.
it's mine. So
Ah.
yes.
It's really good. The Royal Canon Library almost nominated it one of the top stories of all time.
Wow,
Well
did
done.
they actually?
Yeah.
Fuck, okay.
I think it was in the honorable mentions of top 25 fanfic stories for MLP of all time.
Oh, that's nice of it. Well, like I said,
Anyway.
not here to bump my shit.
No,
Mostly
let's get
just
back
saying, if it's at all similar as far as weird horror, like slow burn stuff, I immediately am for it.
Well, congratulations. That's exactly what it is.
Perfection.
Dab.
That sounds like I should read Broken Bindings then.
What I'm taking away from this conversation is that you should read Her Eyes Reflect the Stars by Lynwood.
I've
Thank
just
you.
posted a link to it in the chat, and I've also added it to the Barcast stories, so hopefully you guys can find it easier. Also, please go upvote the fuck out of this story. It needs some upvotes, man. It does.
Upvotes.
It slipped under the radar. I
It-
think the site does not like the short chapters.
No.
All of them are between 500 and 600 words. And,
which is a huge freaking paradox, because every time I've surveyed my readers, they've always preferred like shorter chapters. So who's reading shit then?
Real same.
It's an extremely weird paradox because FimFiction is a site, as far as like when it comes to updates and hitting the feature box, it doesn't contribute to the heat algorithm unless a new chapter is 1,000 words, I believe.
That would make sense.
Or at least somewhere in
Interesting.
there.
I will say, in Broken Bindings, there are 5 chapters that are each 4 words. So, I mean,
That makes sense. I mean, to also be fair, the longer the chapter, theoretically, the more people you'll have reading it at a time on average, which does bump up the heat. So
that might be why. Either way, let's get Her Eyes Reflect the Stars some attention, folks, for our guest, and also
absolutely.
because
Oh,
we
thank you.
need more horror on this
So-
site, man. We need more.
We do
Need
need
him.
more horror.
Fuck
So
yes.
yeah. So while I do that, I do recommend for any writers out there, put your chapter somewhere probably between the 5 and 8,000 range. That's probably a good sweet spot.
Oh God, no.
Disagree. But that's fine. Anyway, we should continue with actual questions because I loved this tangent so hard, but we should ask questions.
It's true. Lynwood, how did you get into MLP?
Oh, this is kind of a weird story. Okay, so when I was younger, I really liked Fallout 3, like too much. I had a file where, you know, the house in Megaton?
Mm-hmm.
I had upgrade the house all the way, so I had as much storage as possible, and then I had gotten a copy of every single gun and every single piece of clothing that you could get, like in one run. Of course, I had done all the quests, I had done all the bobbleheads, I'd like talk to everyone. I knew that game like inside and out. I loved it. And this was like long ago enough that I had just begun like finding out what fan fiction was. I was like, wow, people like the game so much that they'll write stories about it, and sometimes they're even good. This is amazing. And I found a story that really confused me. It was like really good, and I really liked it, but they kept using words I didn't recognize, like Philly. And I was like, what is this?
Oh,
Oh no.
If
Oh,
you're curious
no.
about what it wasn't even the original Fallout Equestria. It was Fallout Equestria Heroes,
Oh,
which is
Hmm.
my favorite one by far.
glances at
Uh,
Rav. Rav, your verdict?
Yeah. I mean, not as bad as me, dude. I accidentally started with Project Horizons, so you're all good.
Yeah, that was when Heroes was not even done. That one took a long time to get finished.
Right?
But I remember I read it and I was like so confused because I don't remember if I read it on FimFiction or if I found it somewhere else. But I had no idea what was going on. And then finally, when my idiot self like put two and two together, I like found out about the show and I was like, oh, I guess I'll watch this if it's as cool as Fallout. And it wasn't as cool as Fallout initially because I was like, where's the Fallout stuff? But you know, it was a good show and I got into it and I liked reading the fan fiction more. But the fan fiction didn't make sense if I hadn't watched the show, so that was the main driver.
mm-hmm.
I guess that is the whole story.
No, that's
Jesus,
fair.
that's quite
So
an intro.
So then the next question that we segue into from there is, what do you consider to be your favorite part of fandom then? The online community, fanfics, music, boiling it down to its essence, what keeps you here?
What keeps me here? That is a little different over the years. So initially, it was both the show and the fan fiction. So I got really into the show. I liked the characters a lot, and I liked how it looked. And this was in a part of my life that was kind of rough, and I don't know. I needed something wholesome, and I was like, this is making me feel good, so I'm gonna keep watching it in secret. Nobody knows, but uh, I watched up till season 4, which was the most recent one at that point. And then I was like, well, there's no more, so I have to look elsewhere. And that was when I found FimFiction, and that was like way back. I really liked reading just whatever I found that looked kind of good. I didn't care if the quality of the story was good or not. And then for a long time, it was the stories I would read, and sometimes I'd find really good ones, and those would like stay in my mind forever. I remember back before like bookshelves were a thing, it was just like the favorites. I was like, man, some of these I like more than others, but I can't sort them, and I was really annoyed. That was so long ago. Fuck. Um, the uh, the kicker was I would like go on a like a binge and I'd read nonstop, and then some other part of my life would come in and I'd forget about the fandom for a while, and then I'd like wander off, and then I'd remember and I'd come back and there'd be like a whole bunch of updated chapters and I'd be like, oh hell yeah. And I'd read all those, and then those would make me look for more stories, and it was like kind of a wave, sort of, I guess. And I remember back then, I even tried writing some of my own. They are terrible. I think I have a warning on my profile that's like, if you are looking to maybe read my older stuff, keep in mind that I wrote them a long time ago and my style has changed dramatically.
Dude, I've
And
had to do that for my own stories. You're in good company.
yeah, they're so bad. I went back and I tried to read them and I was like, oh, this is hurting me physically.
Hmm.
We definitely
So
become our own hardest critics on ourselves.
Definitely.
but I left them up, because it was like it felt wrong to take them down.
Yes.
And I didn't pursue writing back then very much because I wasn't very good at it. And I didn't even like it. Like I just wanted to do it because I saw so many stories. And then when I actually tried doing it, I was like, wait, this is not fun even.
We chose
And
a good drinking
then
word. We chose a very good drinking word.
yeah, I gotta catch up. Hold on.
Go for it,
Oh
man.
shit!
Get twisted on that tea, bitch.
Oh, I'm
Twisted
getting
on that.
twisted on this raspberry twisted tea. Where was I? Oh, right. So then, my life changed and my attentions were pulled elsewhere for like years.
Right.
And I remember I had this story that I didn't finish. What came before it was called. It's marked as canceled now, but back then it was not. And I was like, it feels wrong that I didn't finish that. Like I felt like there was more to tell. And during that part of my life, I got into writing not pony, but other stuff. And I ended up really liking that. And now I write a lot of stuff outside the fandom, like stuff that I intend to send to publishers. I actually finished a novel, and I was sending it around to people. And then the pandemic happened, and all the publishers were like, "Can you come back in like a year or more?"
Absolutely.
Like,
Yes.
oh
I feel you
no.
so hard on that.
It happened. It really happened. And I was like, fuck. So that is still on the shelf, that one. I'm kind of working on its sequel because I like that. But those are completely different from Pony. But one day I was driving just like down some highway and I was like, I really liked that story about that cult who goes and for some reason the author described eye plates like biologically, like anthropomorphically. And I couldn't remember the name of the story. Hold on.
It's okay, no worries.
I couldn't remember the name. And it took me a long time to find it. It was oh god. It was Old to Be Old Again. That one. That was popular back when I was actually in the fandom like quite a lot. And I remember that one also never got finished, but I went back and I was like, well, might as well give this a read because I couldn't get it out of my head. And I read it all the way through and I was so frustrated that it wasn't finished. I was like, I'm going to write something that is like this, but better, and I'm going to finish it. And then I did that because I liked the concept and I liked how like the character played, but I was like, it's frustrating that I don't know how it ends, and I kind of wrote out of spite.
Spite is a great reason to write. Let no
Honestly,
one
it's
tell
a
you
good
otherwise.
driver.
Oh yeah.
It's a good driver for more than writing. And then I wrote that whole thing, and that was Strange Little Cult. I intended to just post it like one and done, all in one go, and then just like fuck off, and go do something else. And then I was like, might as well just post it chapter by chapter, and maybe people like it. And it ended up getting way more attention than I thought, and that got me into it. I was like, wow, this is kind of fun, because when you're writing just like a book for yourself, you get like no feedback except for the people you go and you force to read your stuff.
Yes.
Right.
And the idea of like anonymous people online reading your shit and commenting on it. I love getting comments. I love people telling me what's wrong, what works, what doesn't. That makes my day. I love
This
that.
is the writer
comments are crack.
mindset.
Comments
is
are
the-
crack.
Comments are absolutely crack.
And the worst kind of comment is, "It's good, I liked it."
Yeah, I love it when people. I even like it when people are like, "This is a piece of shit," and then they list like 8 reasons why. It like kind of hurts your soul, but also you're like, "Yes."
Thank
Dude,
you.
absolutely this. I remember one of the greatest comments I ever got was on first Metroid Equus, and they listed everything that was just abhorrent about what I wrote. And at the very end, it was like a 2-paragraph thing, and at the very end they said, eagerly waiting for next chapter. Okay, fucking sure, I guess.
Yeah. So I was
Like-
like, I like the idea of having a live audience, I guess.
Exactly.
So I decided to do more, and people were like, write a sequel, and I was like, okay. I like the story enough to do that.
Careful with the sequel trap, though.
Oh, I got a whole plan.
Oh,
Be
good.
careful with the sequel trap, and don't keep your live audience waiting for 7 years.
Keep them waiting as long as you fucking want. It's
I was gonna
fanfiction.
say, I feel like the stakes are not that high. There's plenty of stuff that isn't mine that is still good. Like,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that, Lynwood, you've written for money before outside of fiction.
never in my life have I written for money.
You should. You have the right mindset. This is something, as someone who does that, most people are like, well, yeah, but if you need the confidence boost, like, nah, man, you want to tear yourself down and like wreck your body doing it. Like, that is how you write, my friend. And you have to both acknowledge the romanticism of it and the fact that it is the most degrading thing on the fucking planet. Like, you are a whore, but with words, and you seem to understand this.
Well, I'm glad you think so highly of that.
This is good. This is the right attitude. So, I think you have the backbone to manage it.
Up next. Now we're in this interesting spot in the fandom right now where Gen 4 is over. The Gen 5 movie has come out, and I believe there are talks of a Gen 5 series. But all in all, the lightning in the bottle that made our kind of fandom boom and stick together for the longest time is kind of gone. So when I say the show is over, I'm referring to that sort of lightning in a bottle. Where do we as a fandom go from here to stay alive and relevant?
Alive. Well, I guess first off about the Gen 5 thing. I have not seen the movie. Surprise. I remember how I was like, I watched up to season 4 and then stopped because there were no more episodes. I never watched another one after all those years, and then I got back in with the writing, and for the next stuff that I was working on, I was like, shit, I actually have to watch the show to make sure this all like works. And so in the last couple of weeks, I've been pretty busy with outside stuff, but whenever I have free time, I'll watch like an episode or two of the new seasons. It's quite fun because when I left the fandom, I like didn't read anything. I still haven't read much, so I know very little about everything from Starlight Glimmer's introduction, like the beginning of that season onwards. And rewatching them has been kind of fun. It's like they're airing, but not really, and they're very old. And every so often, I'll see like an element, like a character or something, that is like, oh shit, I've seen that somewhere before. I read a story with that character in it, and I was really confused why the author didn't like introduce them more. And it turned out it's because they were from the show. Like the singing one, like where Applejack has the friend who she met at like band camp or something, who became like a famous singer.
Coloratura.
Yeah,
This one time at band camp.
This one time at band camp. Right, the fandom. Jesus, I got sidetracked.
It's okay.
I think that is subject to the same forces that anything else is, which is people get bored eventually, right? Like, it'll only live as long as people care. And that means if you want it to live, you have to care. That goes for if you are a reader or a writer. Like if you're a reader, you gotta encourage your writers, and if you're a writer, you gotta like make shit, you know. And Gen 5, nothing that Gen 5 will do will be as interesting or will like capture people the same way. It's just not gonna happen. And if the fandom is gonna live as long as it can, like it's sad to say, but you know, the show is over. Once the show ended, that was stomping an expiration date on it. Only the date is scratched out, so no one actually knows what it is. And for that to be as late as possible, people just have to care. But again, you have to remember that eventually all things die. Something new will come along, and then that will capture everyone's attention, and some new cartoon or show or something will kind of slide into that niche, I think, and then the transition will be maybe painful, but there will be new stuff, new stories that capture the same ideas and like attention. So it's not like super sad because the fandom has been so amazing and has lived a grand life, but I think it's definitely at the tail end. But there's definitely no harm in trying to make it last. And again, like I wrote after the show had ended, like a year after it ended, and it ended up being something that people liked. So it's like
It took the fuck
it's
off.
not, yeah, it's not like there's no more like good stories, like great stories that are waiting to be written. And if you're a writer, I guess, like just do it, man. Do it for yourself. And if you do it for yourself, and if it happens to be something that other people like, then they'll like it too. And that's the best part about writing is sharing something that you think is really good, like a good story, something that really makes you feel something, with other people, and having that sort of bring something into lives that maybe can be quite shitty, you know?
Hey Priest, how
Oh
many
shit!
more
You
intro?
told me not to philosophize, didn't you?
No, you're doing fine. Hey Priest, how many more intro questions do we have?
Oh god, I have to scoot along.
One.
No, we've been getting sidetracked too. Oh, it's the big question. Okay. Fair.
It's the important one.
Yes.
Important one.
This is gonna make and break how you're treated on the show. I hope you
Yes.
understand.
It's true.
Who's best pony?
Luna.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Like, as far as the princesses go, Celestia and Luna, we don't really argue with those. So.
Yeah. No, I think it's respectable. Maybe not as respectable as Celestia, but I think that's fair.
Rav is ready to kill you in your sleep, Priest.
Celestia
I'm
is
actually kind of
just
surprised he's not simping for his little heart horse waifu.
I mean, when you compare the three main adult of age princesses side
You
by
mean
side.
Twilight, Celestia, and Luna?
Ah, yes, the important ones.
Don't forget the
Yes, the important
baby.
ones.
The
Oh yeah, I forgot
baby.
about the baby.
The
I
baby
actually like
doesn't
Cadence
exist.
quite a lot.
All I'm saying is Cadence has the most mommy energy. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Okay?
I don't know. Celestia's got that glowing aura and that nice big ass.
She easily has a number 2. Easily.
You want to do her number 2. Got it.
All right. Up next, let's head out to the thread. Let's grab some questions from there. Muggany didn't post questions, even though
Muggany, you shat the bed, you little fuckwad. Okay, we're good.
Oh, he did.
He did. He
Muggany
shat the bed.
put an empty one.
Yeah, Muggany, you shat the fucking bed, which means we get to go on to.
Nobody special. Number 1, they ask, "You good, dude?"
Oh god, I've had a rough week. let's put a pin in that one. Nobody special.
Okay. I mean, I think it's been. When I read that question, I was just like catching up on your page, and I saw like your profile tag is just trying to be better, and your character has these deep dark circles underneath. I'm like, oh,
I asked for
you
that.
look like you're so exhausted and having the worst time. So I just saw that question. I was like, oh, this is a real question.
You good, dude?
Remember how I said I liked Luna? It's because that she just is always exuding that energy that is just like exhaustion, but like still there for it, you know?
That's fair.
That
That's
is fair too.
All right, next question. Have any of you wondered if the ponies use toilet paper? For the unicorns, I imagine it'd be easy to use, but for winged cretins and earth ponies, I imagine them having a hard time.
Limbs seem pretty lithe and stretchy. I imagine they can reach back there just fine. I have never really thought about it though.
Maybe they just drag their ass on the ground like a dog.
No.
Well, the thing is,
They don't need to.
it's anatomy lessons with pencil time. So when horses shit, their anuses are in such a way where the anus protrudes out slightly, the poop drops, and then the anus pinches it off and comes back. Horses also poop in pellets. So you genuinely don't need toilet paper as a horse. It is incredibly rare and that you ever will see a horse's anus have poop on it. The foul part of horses, honestly, male horses, sheaths, because they can't clean them themselves. And so if you have a male horse, you have to clean it periodically, and that smell is unlike any other fucking smell you've imagined. So no, toilet paper is not needed for the anus. It may be needed for the dick.
Oh no.
Now, this ends anatomy lessons with pencil.
There are so many stories you could write about that pencil.
I feel
I
educated.
I don't
Imagine
need
she has.
I don't need to write another shit story. I wrote one with Rob.
No,
That's
about
enough.
about horse
No,
dick
no, no, no.
cleaning.
You need to write a smegma story. That's what you need to
I
write.
don't.
Horse cheese.
Oh God!
Hello.
I don't want to relive that smell. Okay. Brinko, buddy, I love you, you horse, but oh,
Come on, you've had that smelly French cheese. How bad could it be?
it's so much worse.
Oh no.
I like cheese. I do not like male horse dick, and you can quote me
Oh.
on that.
That
I can
I
hear
think
them
that's going to
playing
be a new
blinding
quote
lights
in the
to the
chat.
wall.
Here we go. This is your chance. Let's mosey on down the line to Glim Master, who has a real nice new picture. Glimmy Glim. That's nice. Number 1. Would you create a wood pony, and how would they look like? How
Pony.
how they would look like.
Would I create a wood pony and how they would look like?
Yes.
This wood pony, is this like a little like figurine,
Pink
or is this
Pinocchio.
like a Pinocchio pony? Or
Pinocchio
I
pony
was
is
imagining
fantastic.
like, have you ever seen the clockwork automatons, but they're made out of like wood and brass?
Yeah, those are cool.
They're very pretty. It's like polished wooden parts on the outside, and then through the cracks in between the wooden parts, you can see like the glints of gears moving inside. Like that, I guess. With big, nice pieces for all the moving parts, and then whenever the pony walks, you can see in the joints and like moving gears.
Nice.
I don't know. Did that answer the question?
It did. Now then, how do you make worst pony become best pony?
How do I make worst pony become? Well, first I'd have to pick a worst pony. Let's see. I've watched up until Starlight Glimmer has just reconnected with her friend. Oh fuck, what was his name? He pretended he was a wizard and he just like straight up lied for
Sunburst?
some reason. Sunburst, yeah, that's it. So I only have up to that knowledge of ponies, keep in mind. Oh my god, who's the worst one? Oh man, I can't think of anything. None of them stand out in my mind as like dislikable. I'm sure
Well,
that's different for other people. Someone give me a worst pony to improve.
Let's see.
Twist.
Cadence.
Fuck off.
Oh my god, I forgot about Twist.
Twist, you mean?
Yes.
Twist.
Twist.
Does she show up in other episodes besides the one where she's
Yes.
apparently Applejack's friend?
Yes.
Oh my god, really?
In the
Holy
background.
Yes.
shit.
A little bit, yeah.
She has lines every now and again.
Well, to fix her, I guess you have to make her a character and also not so annoying to listen to.
Yay.
Other than that, she's just kind of a picture in the background. I don't know. Maybe give her character stuff like things that she wants at all.
I just looked at the next question. I'm ready. I'm ready. I am ready.
Number 3. Can you give us your best impression of Woody from Toy Story, please?
Oh fuck! It's been a minute since I've seen.
There's a snake in my boot. You're my favorite deputy. Someone's poisoned the water hole.
You are a toy. You're nothing but a child's plaything.
That's wonderful. Number 4. What superpower would you like to have?
Ooh, what superpower would I like to have? I guess it would be either the ability to intuit anything, so like just be able to figure out whatever I want, I guess, just like without having to work for it.
That's goddamn. That actually is a really nice. I want this. Can I have this?
Yeah, just be like, if you're like, I wonder how like, I don't know, like the fucking, how does a jet engine
I wonder
work?
how you would
And
make
just
us live
like,
forever.
just
Oh,
be
that's
like,
how.
this is probably how it works, and then just have that be right. Like every guess that you
I
have at how
need.
something works is just correct.
I
Or,
need-
sorry, what?
No, you're fine.
I was saying my other one would be or shape shifting to turn into whatever I please, with
Which
no
is my
like
usual
limit on
choice.
how big or small, or like how detailed or anything.
I love your intuition idea because you can take it so far, and I'm sure
Way
there's a
too
lot
far.
of things. I'm sure there's a lot of ways that you can make it also like not fun, where you'd be like, "Oh, this is a surprise party, isn't it? Surprise!" Oh, okay.
Or just be like, I wonder why that car has like a flat, and then like think, oh, it's probably because they ran someone over, and then you're like, oh shit.
Then you have no proof. Oh no!
You
How do
can't
I
do
find
anything
proof?
about it.
Find proof.
Then you,
Boom! I
no, no,
know
no, no.
how.
See, then you're wondering. No, no, no. See, then you. I wonder who it was. Oh no.
Yeah, I could see that going south pretty fast.
Yeah, that would fucking suck.
Number 5. During your life, did you sit down on your chair and ask yourself, why do I like this colorful Equins?
Not particularly. It has, I guess it was clear. I mean, for the show at least, it was like it's nice to look at. Um, the writing is pretty good, and the world building is very interesting. Of course, everybody knows that. And then like the the part of the fandom that I really like, the stories, Raspberry. The stories are. Oh, remember when I said I'd have to step away for a second?
Yeah,
Yep. You do what you got to do.
I'll be right back.
that's absolutely fine. Should we do early ad break?
No, I'm gonna wait for ad break because people are right now trying to get the hype train going. Believe it or not, with their donations, which
Oh,
is pretty
Nice.
nuts. I'll be honest. Like I might actually donate some bits just to the cause. I think I even have some. Do I have some bits?
well, it's incredibly
All right.
easy to get bits.
Sorry about that. Question was, Why do I like colorful equines?
Have you
I don't know.
ever sat down and wondered like,
Oh, have I ever
why do,
sat down? Oh,
why
right.
do I
No.
like this?
It was always pretty clear to me. It's just like really appealing to me. I've been embarrassed about it, sure, but like I don't know. This is something that I like, so it wasn't like that much of a problem for me. It's not like I'm gonna stop.
Hmm.
Cool. First of all, thank you everyone in the chat who contributed to the hype train. You can contribute now to get some special emotes. Let's move on to the next question.
Train.
It says, "Today I shall save the guest's mind from answering my last question. You know what question it is, Applejack face. So instead, I ask you this: Morningwood."
The question is Morningwood? Question
Yep.
mark. No, thank you is my answer.
Lol.
That is fair. That is an acceptable answer.
That's a great fucking answer.
Up next, we're going to RK Striker JK5. Number 1, what is your favorite non-MLP franchise?
Ooh, that's a tough one. If it were video games, it would be between Fallout, a childhood favorite of mine, and Halo, also a childhood favorite of mine, which has disappointed me recently.
Which Fallout is best Fallout?
Which Fallout is best Fallout? Ooh, I think I know what you want me to say.
Do you?
It's in between. For me, it's in between 3, which is kind of objectively worse, but I love it so much. And New Vegas, of course, is just so good. I'm a big fan of
I'm a
4,
big New
though.
Vegas fan. I'm a big fan of New Vegas, actually. So
New Vegas is amazing. It's
yeah.
just very, very good. What irks me a little bit is when people are like, they point to Obsidian and they're like, oh, why doesn't just Bethesda just do exactly what Obsidian did? But the reason Obsidian had so much time to make it fucking good is because they were starting with a game that was like done, and all they had to do was like make new content and also make it not so freaking glitchy and bad.
Well, I mean, it's not a glitch. It's a feature for literally everything.
Oh, my bad. Just pretend I didn't say that then. And they had a really rare opportunity in the industry to take something and make it just like amazing, which they pulled it off, and I'm like, fantastic. But I think Bethesda should get a little credit for giving them a great jumping off point.
Yeah.
And I felt a little vindicated when Obsidian released the Outer Worlds. Did you play that, Anon?
Yes, I
God, I did.
did.
It was good.
And I liked it, but the big problem that I had with it was there was not a lot of content in it.
There wasn't a
Like,
lot of secret content, like the things you have to go hunting for, like New Vegas gave you so easily.
yeah.
Right.
There
And
wasn't.
the other thing that I had a problem with was there was like not a huge variety of guns or armor. It was just like the same stuff that was like reskin, and I was like all the weird, like cool, like this machine and all the like unique. You get what I'm trying to say. The unique stuff.
Yeah.
Just obviously they didn't have time for. I bet they would have put
Well,
it
it's
in
kind
if
of
they had
like,
the chance. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't there.
right. Well, I mean, it may end up like Skyrim. We're gonna have to mod it ourselves. You know, get the uniques mod and some other things going on with that.
That being said, I did like the Outer Worlds quite a lot.
Right.
All right, Priest.
Number 2, have you done any fan-related content for a non-MLP franchise?
No, not that anyone would know of. I have a half-written fan fiction for XCOM that I never decided
He
to
wants them
finish,
snake titties.
I did not. It was for Chimera Squad. Sorry, no, it does have snake titties in it. They're not like a main plot point, but I guess they're there. I cannot deny that. it was for a Chimera Squad. I liked the characters in that enough to be like, I'm gonna block out a story and maybe write it. And then I got some of it, and I thought to myself, I'm bored, and moved on.
That's
Mm.
number 3. Are you straight out of Lynwood? How white and nerdy are you?
I always forget Lynwood's a place, and also that's a song. That's Weird Al, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Good call.
yeah.
So, how did you come up with your name then?
Lynwood. That is the result of, okay, so remember how I said I had written that book, right?
Yes.
That book has a character named Catherine Lynwood in it. And when I was picking the name for the account that I was going to use, I was like, shit, I like this character a lot, so we'll just go with that. And that character's name comes from a random name generator. So
That is
it's
100%
random.
That's
It's
100%
random,
fair.
and I just really liked how it sounded.
Hey, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. All right, Alex underscore is up next. Okay. What's the up?
What's the up? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
What is the up?
What is the up? I guess it'd
Like-
be the opposite of the down.
The
But I guess I don't know
opposite
what the
of-
down is either. So it doesn't exist. Or maybe it does because we're talking about it.
And
That
it
was a really
does
bad
exist.
answer.
No, it's
That's
fair.
terrible.
We have had worse
You
answers.
did fine.
Number 2. What is your favorite sandwich filling?
Oh, my favorite sandwich filling. I haven't had this sandwich in a while because I am a little poor at the moment. But my favorite sandwich is like toasted wheat bread with um, roast beef in it and some nice Swiss cheese and some salt and some pepper, just like that. And it has to be like not dry Swiss cheese too, because there's not any sauce on that. I did not say anything about sauce. So if it's dry roast beef, then it's bad because it's not. You're just eating dry stuff, and that's no good.
That's fair.
I just like roast beef sandwiches, I guess, is my point.
Roast beef is good. Would you rather make your own roast beef or would you get from an Arby's?
Actually, I would prefer to get it from like a Subway.
That
They
is
make
fair.
that exact
Mm.
sandwich.
Hmm.
You sound like you don't approve, Anna.
Subway and I don't get along.
What did you do in Subway?
No, it's what they've done to me.
But
I-
Subway could never do anything wrong. I don't know what you're talking about.
They leave their cheese out for so long, you guys. It's just
Oh no.
That's
How
why
long
you
do
ask
they
them to
leave their
toast
Oh,
it,
I know they
and it
do.
kills all the bad bacteria in the
it
cheese.
does
Right?
not.
If you
What if it's horse
if
cheese?
you have to go to a restaurant and you can be like, could you please cook that for me so I don't get sick? That's a problem.
Yes.
Subway to make their food safe for you. I think you're asking a little much of Subway.
Oh my god.
I was just gonna be like, I'm not a big fan of Subway's bread, but it's like, nope.
That's why you cook it.
Anyway, anyway, Priesty Pie.
Um, any opinions on Gen 5 is the next question.
We've
Nope.
gone over that a little bit, but
I think from the pictures that I've seen, I like how the ponies look. I think their proportions are cool.
They are proportional.
Pain. I feel pain.
And I
Rob,
like
Rob
I
hates
like
that kind of CJ. He hates that
the
kind of CJ.
I hate Disney CG so fucking much.
It's not Disney.
I like the fur around the hooves too. That was something that bothered me with Gen 4's design, is how the coat just becomes the hoof. I don't know. That was like a pet peeve.
Fetlocks are nice. I like fetlocks.
I like the fetlocks.
Fet life. What are we talking about?
Priest, stop talking
Fucking-
about kink websites and read the next thing.
Number 4,
He likes legs. That's what we're talking about.
thighs. Thick.
Fair enough.
4, tell me something that will blow my mind.
Tell you something that will blow your mind. Did you know that Martin Luther King Jr., the famous civil rights activist from the United
Here.
States, and
Is this
Anne
political?
Frank, the girl who wrote a book that became very famous, were born in the same year?
Whoa.
I mean, I think I actually
Really?
did know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have heard of that. Yes. That
Well,
is
that's
indeed.
pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good, and you managed to
What?
not get political with it. Good job. I'm proud of you.
We had that moment where all of our butts collectively clenched, and then it was okay.
I don't know that I clenched, but I definitely put my hand in my hand on my face. I'm like, oh God, please don't go somewhere I think you're going to.
Speaking of blowing mind, number 5.
Mm.
At what point does it begin to look a lot like Christmas?
When there's snow. Not Christmas without snow.
As a
Okay.
Californian, this is a problem.
You
Well, that's too
fuckers.
bad. You don't have the right Christmas.
Fuck off. My
no-
Christmas is like 70 degrees, and I can wear sunglasses, bitch.
That means it's not Christmas.
It is Christmas. It's just
Lol.
Christmas with a tan, fucker.
It, it,
Have you
No,
ever
she's
seen
got no
that
fur
old
tree.
movie
Don't mind her.
with
She's jealous.
with Mr. Heat and Mr. Snow, and they just fucking hate each other so much?
You mean the song I literally sing every Christmas as I do dishes and no one can stop me?
God, I love that fucking song so much.
Is it from a
That
show?
shit is
He's
stuck in my
miser,
head permanently.
He's Mr. Sun.
Da 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 da.
He's Mr. Yeah, exactly. He's
What-
Lister.
what-
He's Mr. 101.
Oh my god, I love
I
that
prefer
song.
the version where they synced freaking gas to that shit, and it was so terrible, and it just makes me cry every fucking time laughing.
Okay,
Oh, Anna,
before,
here's a question for you. Do you prefer the remake or the original?
The original.
Thank you, God.
There's
What
a
is the-
remake.
what
Yes.
what even is this?
It's
Year
the
Without
old
Christmas.
the year without a Santa Claus, wasn't it?
Or Santa Claus. Yeah.
Yeah, Year Without a Santa Claus.
I have
Remember-
never heard of this.
Okay, Priest, do you remember the old like stop motion animated like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and stuff?
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, and it's the
How
one
good.
with there's the heat miser and there's a snow miser, and they hate each other a lot. And when the young Santa Claus, who's not yet Santa Claus, goes to the heat miser and the snow miser, they each sing the same version of the different versions of the same song, and it's the catchiest fucking song, and I love
really
it. So
is, and I
Catchy.
hate it.
It's like permanently in my head. And whenever I see snow in winter, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sing the snow miser part, which is the better part.
He's Mr. Yeah,
I need to watch this. I need to watch this, I guess.
He's Mr. Icicle. He's Mr. 10 Below. That's what it was. Okay.
All right. Now
Call
then.
me snow miser.
Whatever I touch.
I'm posting
What?
this in behind the
He said
counter.
now then like 3 times.
Boys, we have
Yes.
multiple questions.
Okay, I'm sorry.
As much as I want to be like, fucking, you're a firework. We gotta
No,
move
no.
on. We got other questions. No.
You cannot sing Firework when we're discussing our childhood.
El Muggany knows what we're talking about.
Yes.
Oh god.
That's more like childhood. You got it. That's better.
Okay. Empty plot filler is up next. Fucking Flam, would you like to?
Hello, empty plot filler.
Empty plot filler. My name is Flam. Yes, absolutely.
Empty Plot Filler
Freaking-
also donated like 1,000 bits to Horse Charity just now. So
Oh,
Holy shit.
Thank you. Well done.
Alrighty, so number one, you seem to have put a lot of work into Her Eyes Reflect the Stars. I'm not caught up yet. But while not your normal style of work, how satisfied are you so far with it?
It's okay. So, if anyone doesn't know, I like to write out the entire story before I post any of it. I don't
you
like
do.
I don't like writing these chapter by chapter. So keep in mind this answer is the whole fic is written, and I am satisfied with it. I think that all of the different storylines are at least interesting in some way. I wouldn't know because I planned all these out, but I think when you see the connections between them, they're cool. and I like seeing the secrets that I have put in them. This sounds a little pretentious, I know.
It is not.
Um,
You are happy about your work. You should be happy about your work.
but I remember when I was writing this, I was like, there's no way anyone is gonna figure some of these secrets out.
Girl
There's
Sam,
like
I feel you.
spoilers. One of them has to do with how many words are in a sentence. I was like, as I was writing some of these, I was like, there's no way anyone is gonna catch this, but I don't care because I love it so much. Um,
Bruh, I had a link in a period in one part of my story. I understand.
I still hate you for that, by the way.
that's amazing.
You're welcome.
Um, I was inspired by. Does anyone know the story Mother Horse Eyes?
Yes, actually. Hello. We creepypasta now. I'm here now.
Yes, that is. I read it and I was like, shit, I want to make something that is like that, but like less intense and like wild and all over the place. Because the problem I had with that story was while it was super fun initially, it never like coalesced and became something I don't know that followed through. It was always just like hints
Yeah.
and links, which was the problem. I was like, I feel like you could write a really cool story um, that starts with that sort of confused, all over the place, like what is happening,
Yes.
and then with every bit you read, or I guess with every chapter you read, um, you get a little bit more, and then when you finally are able to make a link, you're like, oh, this person is the same as this person, oh, this actually happens in the future. Um, that is like a really cool point. Like I remember when I was reading Mother Horse Eyes. Spoilers for Mother Horse Eyes. There's there's one story about like Victorian like fancy people, and then there's another story about a cat that like goes into a house and is like really confused by the owner, and it turns out that they're the same fucking thing. And it doesn't like actually end up meaning anything, but like the realization that they were the same thing, the writer did a really good job of not like shoving it in the reader's face, but realizing that was like, oh fuck, and it was that oh fuck that I really wanted to like replicate.
No,
I
So hopefully I
understand
did
that
that.
feeling.
I completely understand that. That's something I attempted in one of my stories where I actually split one of the characters off from the main story. It was telling a parallel storyline on a different fanfiction user, and then they collided, and it created this kind of I don't want to say like big fanfiction event, but the people who were reading the stories on either side of the fanfiction profile were very excited once it
It
all
was a big
combined.
event for your story. You can say it was a
Yeah.
big event for your story.
Yes, it was a big event for my story.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Um, anyway,
So I
that's what I was
relate.
trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea if I actually did that because I wrote it and I can never read it for the first time.
Well, that's why
Um,
people should go read it. You know, this story that I'm posting the link to in the chat that needs more upvotes. Please upvote this story. There's a link to the story. Please go upvote it. We need more horror on this site. Just put an upvote. You can do it. I believe in you.
I would love to know
Like
if there are any
actual
old
horror.
upvotes.
Yeah, horror.
Yeah, like
Uh,
actual horror. Don't just Discord everything away, please.
Well,
no, people die and then they stay dead.
Nice.
Next question,
Um,
Priesty Pie.
next question.
well,
Yes.
Flam's reading.
Oh.
Rightio.
Hey, Flam, next question. I can't call you Flammy Pie. That's super weird. I do
I
not like
mean,
that.
I mean, you can. I'll just probably respond with something even worse.
Oh, no, thank you. I don't want to find out.
Understood. Have a day. So,
I
number
want to
2.
know.
Given how you feel about Her Eyes Reflect the Stars, what's the biggest change, if any, you've had to rethink or rewrite in the process of developing the plot?
Um, there was one storyline that was just dumb, I remember, and I was trying to write it out, and I was like, this can be more interesting. And I had to scrap a bunch of chapters and go back and rewrite it, and that was annoying and painful. And I was like, grumble, grumble. Um, but I guess that was it. Like it was remarkably easy to think of the plot lines the first time around. That was the only one I had trouble with because I had this idea of, when you're supposed to when you write a mystery, the best thing to do is to start at the end and work backwards. Everyone knows that. And so I started with this idea of this Equestria that has something happen to it, and then having having points, having perspectives from different periods along that time, and having them link together and go places. And because of the nature of what happens, it was actually pretty easy to think of interesting viewpoints all along the time, and things that would be like, okay, I'm reading this part, and now I'm reading this, like I'm reading this report from this commander, and now I'm reading this diary entry from this refugee. Um, and seeing like different events from different perspectives, and how one person thinks of the other and how one person thinks of whoever. It was, I felt like it was not that hard. Um, but maybe I thought it was really easy and then turned out really being not very interesting at all. I don't know. I can't read it like that. Uh, and in the interest of time, I will end my answer there.
No worries, no worries. So, number 3, would you plug my story for $5?
Empty plug filler. I'll plug your story for free. I don't care.
Damn, son. Number 4, that's okay. I don't have $5 anyway.
Oh well. Okay.
Number 5, disregarding that I don't have $5, how about $20?
All right. I feel like I was supposed to say no for that joke to work.
So you're like, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So
My
it
bad.
invalidates
Sorry.
all the extra questions. So, and they say that's great to hear. And while I don't have an ETA on that $20, I swear it's coming your way. You'll see. But in the meantime, what type of content do you look forward to the most in stories that are hard for you to find?
Why is it horror?
Hmm. Yeah, more horror, a little bit more stories that are just kind of like, I don't know, weird, I guess. I like it when I have to figure out what's going on. For example, I like when characters are put in like unusual situations that I haven't read anywhere else, and then I get to see them. Hopefully, if they're written in character, I get to see them act or like break down or become their best self in ways that I've never seen them before. And I understand that's really hard in a site that has been around for so long, but like I haven't read that many fics. Uh, and it's not like there are people, or it's not like every reader has read everything. So like, I don't know, I guess
Mhm.
just go crazy, be unique. Write, if you have like a cool idea that you think is cool, like write it, and
Yes.
it'll probably flop and die like mine did.
I mean, it's in popular right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
The
fun.
Barcast effect is real, my friend.
Oh, that makes
Everyone
me
go follow
happy.
him.
Follow me if you care.
Yes, follow if you care. Like, if you want to support future horror stories,
Hello?
follow Lynwood.
All
Yes.
right.
No,
He
Ravage
said
just
he
had to
had to
drop.
leave.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting time right now because it's top of the hour, but I can't help you with the ad, priest.
Can't.
I cannot. I need to go make sure my kitten hasn't drowned in the pot of stock I am boiling.
That's smart. Kittens
Yes.
drowning is a bad thing. But you know what's a
It's like a
good
good
thing,
move.
Milk?
Me, words. What's good?
Hearing your voice is a good thing.
That's fucking gay. Why would anybody want to hear me?
Well, I want to hear you because you help take all the money that we garner through places like our Patreon and bits that are donated through Twitch and send them somewhere.
I spend them all on hookers and blow.
That's right, you do send them to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary in mid California, where we're able to give our sponsored horse little bit things like toilet paper, isn't that right?
I thought we just bought hookers and blow though.
That's correct. We do give them also hoofy cleanings, and dental appointments. And you can help too. By donating to places like our Patreon and giving us bitch on Twitch, we accept zero money from it. Literally zero. I'm not joking. It's a money losing scheme and we're stupid. But due to your guys' help, we're able to donate over hundreds of dollars a year to horse rescue charity. And it means a lot to us, right, Milk?
Hookers and blow.
That's right. So if you would like to assist us on Patreon, it also gives you sweet perks like being able to look behind the counter at some of the stuff we're posting during cast, help nominate for things like game night, or join us on game night, or suggest our movie watching streams, what sort of movies we should watch together. It's a lot of fun, and we hope that you guys can join our special super secret chats where there is totally pornography, and join us. Milk.
I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. The script just says keep saying hookers and blow.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you for all you do.
Hookers and blow.
That's the ad. That was stupid.
Know what else to say. I panicked. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't pick on you very often. I
called
was
it
really
improv.
trying to. I was really trying to like. I don't know if you did push to talk, so I don't know if anyone out in the audience heard any of the things you said.
I
So
made sure to
just kept
push the
trying to,
button.
like, play.
I pushed the button.
I tried to play with it on multiple levels.
we're metagaming the metagame.
It's true. Oh man.
I need more beer.
Is everyone back?
I'm here. I don't know about Pencil. I don't think she's back.
No, I don't think she's back.
She's removing a kitten from a crock pot or something.
Yeah, she's pulling
That's
the kitten out of
correct.
her.
Out of the pot, yeah.
Pulling half-boiled kitten.
Yeah. I hope not.
How are you holding up, Lynn?
I'm great. I ran out of Twisted Tea a while back.
That's
I said story too many times.
That's very common here, which is why we run into issues where people drink irresponsibly. Luckily, we haven't had someone report back to us that they haven't gone to the hospital recently. So, but we do have some people occasionally stop listening now and then, and I get concerned that we have killed them. Well, welcome to the Barcast, where we kill people.
It just means the assassins have done their job.
That's what I come back to? That's what I come back to.
Yes, that's exactly what you come back.
Okay, well, I am here.
How's the half-boiled kitten?
She's fine. She's been really good. She stayed off the counter. She's just been hanging out. So
Just vibing.
just vibing. Happy she's
God,
doing that and not
There's a lot of
destroying
questions
things.
left.
There are.
We got it though.
We've
I
got
gotta
another
maybe
hour.
scoot a little more.
Actually, we're exactly halfway through. We did good.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I'll continue rambling then.
Now, did
Yeah.
we do number 6 for empty pot filler flame?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, all right. Then up next we have questions from a non-pencil. Pencil, would you like to ask your own questions?
I would indeed.
There you go.
You've actually completed a long story, which few can say over 100,000 words. What were the difficulties in that, and how did it feel to finally end it?
Well, it's hard to write a lot, I guess. The hardest part is finishing it, of course. Like once you get to the so you get right in the middle. Um, if you're between maybe parts that are exciting and you're writing a part that goes to another part that is less of like what you want and more of like, you know, the gears and works and maintenance of the story. Um, that I think is the hardest part for me is just staying on it. I tend to have a lot of ideas and very distractible. I have a lot of projects that I work on to distract myself from the fact that I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. And I the difficulties are just like staying on it, you know. There's definitely though a hump uh somewhere in the 3/4 range where it feels like it suddenly becomes downhill and everything is like lining up and you're like, oh, this is great. Look at how much I finished already. I'm so close to the end. And then you do it and you write the last sentence and you're like, great, now I get to edit 100,000 words. Amazing. And you get to look back and you get to see what is bad and you get to make it better. That is my favorite part, honestly, is just improving the knowledge that you actually have something. Um, and now you get to make it better. That makes me very satisfied. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is very interesting. See if I
I
make
don't.
Flam laugh there. um, but when you ended it, how did it feel?
When I ended it, do you mean like when I finished writing it or when I finished posting it?
And that's a good distinction. Both, either.
Um, when I finished posting it, that was actually very, very anxious for me. The posting process, I've never had a story be popular before. Um, and so having so many people, the knowledge that so many people were reading it. I remember I posted one once. I went and took a shower, like a chapter, and then I came back, and there was 200 people reading it at once, and I was like, "Oh my god, that makes my heart feel bad." I'm very nervous. Um, and like seeing people theorizing in the chat was great. I loved it, but it also made me like anxious. Like, oh my god, what if they don't like the ending? What if they think it's not good? What if it actually isn't good? Even though this was an ending I had slaved over and finally picked one that I felt was proper and actually filled out the story and made it like good.
Hmm.
Um, I still was nervous about it because the internet can be a very volatile place, and I was like, oh god, am I the kind of person who can withstand internet hate or like for some reason if people decide that they hate this story and I'm a terrible person, am I going to be able to withstand like people being shitty to me? Luckily that didn't happen, but I tend to worry a lot when I shouldn't. So uh, finally ending it and like seeing that people didn't in fact hate it, that was like very relieving. Actually
That's
finishing
good.
writing it was also relieving, but more in the sense not like when you finish a run and you're like, oh thank God, now I get to go sit down.
Understood. With your new series you're currently working on, it's horror themed. How different is it to write horror compared to, say, slice of life?
Um, hopefully this doesn't turn people off from reading Her Eyes Reflect the Stars, but I've never written horror before. I thought it was super cool. Um, I wanted to try it. I've never been a fan of just like uh gore for the sake of gore, you know. I uh find in movies for it to be like uh just shock value, and then it's like once you stop being scared you're like, oh, that was kind of forgettable. And then in books it's like you read a lot of like just pages and pages of description, and after the first couple times you read something like that it kind of loses its punch. But when it's happening to like a character who you like or is important, then it suddenly gains all that back and you're like, oh no, I have to read even more of this character being hurt, and I love it. um so I wanted to try and do that, not with like gore but with like um oh, there's this quote from someone who's way better at writing than I am, where it's like, if there's a bomb in a crowded room and it just goes off, you're like surprised and you're like, oh, and then that's it. But if you know that there's a bomb in that room, then all the scenes up to that bomb going off are like way more interesting and way more tense. And I wanted to write not like not like gore horror, even though I think gore horror is pretty great when it's written right. But like sort of that dawning horror of like a character has a dream early on, and you're like, oh, okay, that was a weird nightmare. And then as you read forward, uh, and as you read other parts of the story that have nothing to do with that character, you realize that the things in that dream should make that character really worried, but that character doesn't know anything about that. You do. Um, and uh, I was kind of aiming for that sort of suspense horror, I guess. I don't know if I did it right. I would like to think so. I guess I'll find
I'm sure your audience will let you know.
out.
Uh, s-
If they comment.
speaking of that, you've changed a lot over as a writer over the years you've been here. You'd think I'd remember my own question. Let's try that again. You've changed a lot as a writer over the years you've been here. What do you attribute that to?
Practice and reading. I like Stephen King. Maybe that makes me basic, but I like how his stories flow. I read I'm blanking on the name of it because it's the date of the Kennedy assassination, but it's the one about the guy
On.
who
Yeah.
goes back in time. You know the one.
I do know the one. Yeah.
That one was actually the story that was like, oh fuck, I like this a lot. I want to like write, and I over time just by like writing my own stuff and going back and rereading it and being like, this sounds bad, and trying to think of a way to make it sound better, and also like reading other people's stuff, fan fiction and published stuff that has nothing to do with Pony. Um, just as you read more and more, you'll see styles that you like and things that um, you like to see in both story structure and prose. I am of the opinion that prose is less important than story, as long as the prose is like passable and it doesn't bother people.
Unless you're publishing it for money.
Unless you're publishing it for money, that's a key one. But when you're just writing for fun, I would say storytelling is the key. Storytelling, characters, and then prose. But that's not to say that really good prose can't be super enjoyable.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but I'm a storyteller, or I like to think I'm a storyteller. And I value a good story and good characters that you can care about more than anything, I think.
Well, then there are some very important questions for you. What would you whisper into a vagina?
Hello?
What would it whisper back?
What's up?
Excellent. Those are my questions. Priest, back over to you for your questions.
So, dude.
It's true. It's my question time. Number one, who would?
Who would? You might, I imagine.
Ooh,
Lynn.
wow. Wow. Wow.
I don't
Lynn.
know.
Lynn.
Lynwood.
Oh.
I get it.
All right. No more messing around. Hardball time. Why do you write?
Why do I write?
Why?
I like stories. I like telling stories. And I want other people to read my stories. And I want them to feel the same kind of like, interest in what people do, how people react to stuff, people hurting, people changing, people dying sometimes. That sort of meeting, I guess. It's hard to put into words, but
It's
I've
that escapism expression.
yeah, like um, reading a story can be really really meaningful, even though none of those things that have ever happened, or and probably will never happen. Like, and that influx of feeling um, is really important to me, and I like telling stories that bring that to myself, and hopefully bring that to other people. And writing is a way to express that.
Is there a particular feeling you're trying to get your audience to feel, or does it change from story to story?
It changes from story to story, but um, one that I come back to a lot is endurance. People having terrible, terrible things happen to them, and still being able to get back up and still try to make the world a better place, I guess. The idea of leaving the world better than I found it is something that has always been important to me.
Well, thank you for enduring that question. I think you learn a lot about the person when you kind of dive down into that area of the creative process. Up next, it's interesting to go over your story library to see fics that begin in 2013 and continue off till 2016, and then a burst of energy in 2021. What led you back? Have you been writing other places? Are you holding out on us, Lynwood?
Well, I have kind of answered this already. Uh, but yeah, again, what led me back is I just happened to go back and read one story, and then I was really interested, and then I wrote, and then, when it became popular, that was what really secured me back in. I actually don't remember updating it that other one until 2016. In my memory, I did that in like 1 year maybe, and then I got bored. But I guess it took a lot longer than that.
Time is an
Um,
enigma and is fleeting.
there you go.
There you go.
I have written in other places, but I would not be willing to share them with people that like ponies because they don't have anything to do with ponies, and I feel like that would just be weird plugging and being like,
That
"Hey, come read my shit."
No, that's completely fair. I would love to hear more about it when we're offline, though. I'd love to.
Of course, yeah, sure.
Just there's a certain sect of people on film fiction. I should really make a group for it for people that like are professional writers outside of writing fan fiction here or springboarded from writing here into professional fiction and stuff like that. So I always find it interesting to hear that people are writing other places.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be a professional writer, but I would love to do that on the side. I have other things that I do for a living, but
Hmm.
um, writing has always been something that helps me deal with my own stuff. Um, what I wrote when I was younger got really dark, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one who's done that.
Oh yeah, I've got my pile of edgy poems that I 100% burned.
Oh God, the poems. Yeah.
Oh,
I think I wrote one poem
Girl,
and I was like,
same.
this is horrible. And I like threw it away a year later. Um, but I have this stack of stories in my Google Drive. Um, and I was going through them and I was reading them and I was like, wow, these are terrible. And then I read one that was actually good. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
how did
Um,
this happen?
this seems like a fluke. So that one is actually currently in the process of being rewritten to be like my current style and quality.
Very
Um,
cool.
that one doesn't have anything to do with ponies. Also, no, that one is uh, completely different. That was actually my original try at romance, which I discovered that I wasn't very good at,
That's fair.
or at least I wasn't back then. I think yeah. It won't be easy is a romance, but it's not a normal romance. That one is kind of sad, which I
Aw.
love.
You gotta love the sad. Sad lets you know that you're feeling something.
Priest,
Oh,
as much as
big
I'd
fan
like
of
to get into
sad.
that, we are now getting short on time.
Next
Ooh,
question. Do you make your own story arts? They're absolutely gorgeous, and I love the minimalistic style.
I do. There's 3 of them. That is
Are you
what you can
open
see.
for a commission?
No, I'm
Damn
not,
it.
but maybe I will be in the future.
Oh,
I am very, very, very busy right now. Come back in a year.
that is absolutely fair. But I have my eyes peeled on you. I will 100% like ask you to do a story art for me.
I do art on the side.
And then last but not least, you are undoubtedly one of the most explosive rises in the site in 2021. A notable feat considering the fandom's on a downturn. What do you attribute your success to?
Random chance, probably.
Fair.
I know that my writing style is decent. I know that I um, go over my work a lot to make sure that it's like good grammar, easy to read, doesn't like grate on your ears. And then I've been told that I write dialogue pretty well, believable dialogue. I don't know how true that is, but I know it's passable. And I think that the story that I wrote happened to be in a genre that was particularly popular. And then for whatever reason, I posted it at the right time of day or had the right amount of um, it had the right amount of like words in its chapters or something, or the right style of like uh, not title art. How am I blanking on this? Cover art.
Gotcha.
Um, and it just happened to catch enough people's eye to stay at the top of um, the featured box for like a week. and from there it kind of kept going, like a snowball. But I don't think it's because I'm particularly skilled or anything. I know there's a lot of ways that I can get better.
Sometimes it's just the right amount of clickbait.
There you go. I don't know. Maybe I wrote a really good description.
That happens sometimes.
Now, next we're gonna go to Ravage. Rav,
Is not here, honey. He had to leave.
that is
Oh,
fair. I
no.
will quickly go through these.
No, I will. I
Okay.
told Rav I would.
Okay, then it's all you.
Yeah. Okay. Rav would like to know, what is a question you wish people would ask you? And I will rapid fire some of these questions, not this one though.
Sure. Well, I'll try to get through these. What's a question I wish people would ask you? Is there anything of yours that you would like me to read?
Ooh, is there anything of yours that you'd like us to read?
Go read Her Eyes Reflect the Stars. I worked really hard on it.
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay. If you were the protag of a displaced fic, what would it be about, and who would you be unlucky enough to be?
Oh my God. Remind me what a displaced fic is.
No. Actually, no.
Based.
A displaced fic is you're like at a convention and you're cosplaying your favorite superhero and you get transported to Equestria. Now you are that superhero.
Right. I've seen many of these.
Yeah, so I.
I don't know. I'd have to think of a character and what it would be about. And I feel like that would take a lot of time. I would be some kind of shitty, gross ghoul from Fallout. How about that?
Ghoul in Equestria? I'd read Ghoul in Equestria.
And it would be about being hunted actively.
Wonderful.
I'm sure
Thank
that's
you.
been done before.
I don't think it has, so that's wonderful. If you or your significant other could be any size at all, such as Lady Demi Dami Mummy or Renamon-esque kaiju, what would your dynamic look like?
I'm sorry to say that I'm not into that size stuff.
Well, I mean,
so my
you could.
my answer might be boring, but I prefer to be a little taller than my SO.
You want them to stand on tiptoe when they kiss you. Don't lie.
I do, yeah.
I
It
know
is
that.
so
fetish.
cute.
I know that fetish. Speaking of fetishes, have you ever released a foot fetish porn video? And if so, where can your fans find it?
Have not.
Well, that's
Sorry.
disappointing. That's disappointing. Do you write or read snuffles, i.e., Goreclop for the cute ponies?
Oh God, no. That is not my thing.
That's fine. What's your favorite MILF?
Oh, what's my favorite MILF?
Besides, obviously. Oh, damn it, Milk! You changed your name off of MILF. I was going to reference you. How dare you, Milk? How dare you?
Oh.
God damn it.
Who was it? There was recently someone who I saw in like a show or something.
An actual human
No, it was
or
like a
cartoon?
cartoon. It was a cartoon.
What was the cartoon show?
I don't remember.
Is it
All I remember thinking is
where did you
that
see it?
mom
On
is hot.
TV, on
Oh, never
Netflix?
mind. That character wasn't a mom.
Yeah.
It's just like a really worn down kind of workaholic character. It's Reagan from Inside Job, in case you were curious.
Yeah, not a mom. Not a mom.
Not a mom at all. Sorry, I
Super
can't
would
think
be
of
a
anything.
would probably not be a great mom, to be clear.
It would be a terrible mom. A broken person is Reagan.
So
Intrinsically. I just watched that recently. I like that a lot.
so who is your favorite MILF then?
My favorite MILF, I honestly can't
Cadence.
think of anything. Probably not Cadence.
Yep,
God
there
damn it.
you tried.
Does Luna have kids?
She's mother of our dreams.
There you go. Yeah.
There
Luna.
you go. Okay. What is your favorite non-pony?
From the show specifically or just in general?
It doesn't say.
As long as it is not a pony, then you've succeeded at answering the question.
I like Chappie a lot. You guys remember Chappie? Remember that
No.
weird movie about the it was made by like that South African band.
The one with the where they're like gang members and
Milk.
shit, right?
It's the gangster robot.
Yeah, he gangsta as
Press to
fuck.
talk, Milk. Press
I
to
am
talk.
I am
please.
pushing the damn button. I know who Chappie is.
Okay.
Chappie.
I can be relevant
Yeah.
for once.
I was randomly thinking about Chappie earlier, so we're going with Chappie.
Chappie is best non-pony. Got it.
Nice.
What is your
Yeah.
favorite object pony? You know, like, do you know of object ponies like soda pony or pizza pony or snake pony, which isn't really and then there's thing pony, which is just a thing. Like, if you know of thing pony.
I do know of Thing Pony. I like Thing Pony.
Excellent. You are one of the few who just.
I actually really like the Thing, that whole idea. It's really hard for me to watch the movies because they are so gross and like good. Like, remember how I was saying gore is kind of boring unless it's to characters who like you care about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that is exactly what I was thinking of.
You should check. You should check behind the counter right now.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
You should check behind the You should check behind the counter right now. You should
I'm
check
gonna
that.
go look at behind the counter. Oh, that's a good one. That's
Right?
a solid one.
Right?
Yeah, I always loved the look of John Carpenter's The Thing, but hold up, oh my god, that movie is so tense. It's so good.
Yes.
So good.
Since bats are the superior pony, how many Anons must we suck dry?
How many must you just in general? Let's go with 1 or 2,000. There's a lot of Anons in general.
Yeah, and they're pretty interchangeable. Most of them, I will agree.
Yeah, that's the kind of the whole point, isn't it?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Why is Spike the worst and everyone that likes him wrong? This is important to me personally.
That's important to you personally. Why is Spike the worst? Sometimes he's just fucking stupid. I have been watching some of these earlier episodes, and
Yes.
the decisions that he makes are just royally just like, what the hell were you thinking? The the pet episode, the one where
Oh
he
my
agrees to
Christ.
pet watch and then just like abuses the animals,
Yes.
was like, oh my god, why did you do this?
Okay. This is the correct answer. You've answered correctly. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, Spike is kind of dumb sometimes.
Yes. If you could start an interstellar war between two factions from any universe or universes, who would they be and why?
Ooh, an interstellar war between two factions from any universe and universes. I would do. There's a lot of interstellar. There's a lot of like space factions that I'm a fan of. Is this like the best Stellaris game?
What?
Do you know about Stellaris?
Not everyone here is cultured enough for Stellaris.
That's tragic.
What are you
Priest, did you
talking
call
about? Stellaris is
me?
great.
Did you call
Stellaris
me
is amazing.
uncultured, Priest? Me?
No, it's not. I didn't mean it like
Did
that.
you?
I meant it.
Did you
I
just
meant it in a
call me
I meant it in a snark.
uncultured?
I meant it in a snarky gamer way.
Your pencil's not gamer enough.
Except
I have my
except when
answer.
except when
I
your
know.
empire
I know.
gets too big.
I know. Flam plays Stellaris.
What is
Yeah,
your answer?
and then I usually stop towards the end because my
I didn't
empire
want to
gets,
interrupt this.
I
gets so
know.
fucking big. It's like fucking and
Stop
Stellaris
talking about
is-
your penis,
yeah.
Flam. We need to ask the guest the question.
He's
I
talking
like
about
playing
the
wide.
game.
I like playing wide too, Flam. I would want to see the Covenant go up against the Reapers.
I mean, they're very similar in a lot of ways.
They are very similar, but the
Yeah.
Covenant tends to break apart the second things get kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
That is what I would see. I would want to see the Covenant fall apart. Is my answer.
Fair enough. If
And
dick
get,
cheese
like,
could be
back.
blocked and sliced for sandwiches, how much vaginal marinara would we need to spread on our avocado toast to make a fuck trophy? A flesh consolation prize is acceptable too.
A lot. If it's a trophy, it has to be very important, wouldn't it? So, get cheesing.
Cool.
Cool.
How many words is too many words?
Quite a few, I imagine.
You're
Well,
trapped.
are you talking about like a like
No. It was just a vague question.
uh,
Probably Probably a
Okay.
lot. It's like, I think, a fair answer. And last, you're trapped in a room with 10,000 dicks. How many are you choking on?
0 if I can help it.
Well, we'll see about that. Priest, back to you for Lily Kuzlin's questions.
It's true. It is time for Lily number 1. Which type of pony do you prefer and why?
I like the Pegasi. The Earth ponies, I find kind of boring, and unicorns I also find kind of like, not like boring, but just like easy, like magic. Okay, magic does whatever. All right, but like flying is just specific enough to be interesting, and then like I don't know, changes how you get around. Uh, cool animations for like moving in the show. I like the idea of Cloudsdale. I think it's cool. Um, I mean, I like them all, of course, but if I had to pick one, yeah, Pegasi.
All right. Number 2. Do you listen to music when writing? And if so, is there a genre you prefer?
Um, I guess I do like listening to music when I write. I tend to listen to um instrumentals that aren't like sad emotional, but like, or I guess some of them are sad. I don't know. Not a specific genre, but like stuff that I have listened to and that gives me some emotion, um, that is close to what I'm trying to write. That can be stuff from like shows. I really like. Did anyone here know Infinity Train?
Yes.
That was tragically cut short.
I have not finished it. Don't tell me anything about the end.
I'm not telling you anything about the end. I'm just saying
Thank
the
you.
show got canceled.
Yes, I know.
There's only going to be 4 seasons.
I know.
But the soundtrack to that show I love, especially the first season. Second season is also good. Third and fourth I was less of a fan of. But I listened to that a lot. I listened to the Expanse soundtrack a lot. That's one of my favorites. Um, a couple Fallout songs, and then like not just soundtracks, but like whatever I guess nails the mood. So I try to get myself as close to the mood that I'm trying to write as possible, and that is what makes it flow the best.
E. Do you approve of extra floofiness?
I approve of extra floofiness so much that I have a bunch of fan art of Flufflepuff saved in a folder.
Yay! I cosplayed her.
Yay!
I cosplayed her, so I understand.
Yeah, I love her. I love the her and Chrysalis thing so much. It's just so good.
It is wonderful. Up next, is there a genre or theme that you prefer to read?
And why is it horror? Sorry.
Is there a genre or theme that I prefer to read? I like um eventful slice of life, if that makes sense. Like
Hmm.
I like when people's lives are upended and they have to like deal with it. And then they have to like trying to get themselves back on it. A good subgenre of that would be like hurt comfort. There's a couple good fics that I really like where a character gets like hurt. There's one I have where like Dash loses a wing and then has to deal with that. And when they're written well, I think they're really good. I also just like seeing characters suffer, I guess. I don't know. That sounds really weird. Um, but like seeing them get back up and seeing them endure again is something that I really like.
I too am a sadist.
Hey.
Hey. Up
Priest,
next. What? I was
long
getting.
pause. Long pause.
It wasn't
Running
that
out of
long.
time. 20-minute warning.
If you were dropped in the land of ponies, would you rather stay human and be master of squishes or become a pony?
Personally, I'd rather stay human. I have worked a lot to be okay with who I am. I'd like to keep that. Thank you very much.
Hell yes, I relate to this. What are your thoughts on pumpkin pie?
Ew.
Ew.
I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like
Fair.
any pie, though, to be fair.
What?
Sorry.
How? What is there not to like about pie? Like, I
20-minute
don't.
warning, Pencil.
I
20-minute
fucking
warning.
know. I fucking know, but I need at least a one sentence answer. What's wrong with pie?
I don't like the texture.
Not all pie is the same texture.
Sorry, apple pies turned me off to all pie.
It's no apple pie is no what the meat pies and sorry that
You
apple
literally
pie is
sound like the Tasmanian devil right now.
apple pie is a very singular pie and does not taste like any other pie, nor does it have the same texture, nor do all apple pies have the same texture. It depends on what type of crust they're made with. Sorry, I'm done. I'll stop.
I wasn't thinking about meat pies though. I like meat pies.
Meat pies are fine. Yes, see, okay. At least you like some kind of pie. We're good. We have common ground. We can continue.
Moving
I'm done.
on. Moving on.
Empty plot filler is back at it again. Number 1.
What's up? Welcome back.
How badly do you think the continuity between G4 the comics and G5 has been carried? Pony Life doesn't count.
Sorry, I can't answer that because I have not read the comics or watched G5. My bad.
That makes it
Not ready.
easy.
Number 2, I have heard some rumors on the internet. Are there any truth to them?
That's it.
Yes, that is what is said.
I guess the answer to that is they have as much truth as rumors normally do, which is usually not very much.
That is fair. Number 3, okay, so somehow the $20 got lost in the mail, probably because I didn't get the right address to send it to. No harm, no foul. We're still good, right?
Of course, we're still good. Empty plot filler.
Number 4, let's say we were to meet up at a bar. After I get over getting shot down before I even say hello, not like I was hitting on you, but I'm used to this type of reaction by now. What drink can I buy you to make up for the awkward introduction?
Buy me a nice dry cider, please.
Ooh, nice choice.
An individual of culture, I see.
Thank you.
Jammer's up next. What's it like to write?
We've kind of
Any
gone
tips?
over this already.
Oh, the tips thing?
The tips, tricks, or things you wish you knew when you first started.
My biggest tip is just do it, man. Just like write and get it on the page, even if it's bad, because you can improve something that's there. You can't with something that isn't.
It's true. Your stories are not your children. Just get it out and do it, and it'll get better over time.
Yep. Because if it stays in your head, eventually it'll decay and rot and be blown away by the ethereal winds.
It's true. Number 2. If you were given 33 drinks of your choice every week, would you give Nighty, the admin of FimFic, a place to stay at or near your home?
I don't know what Nighty is like. I guess if he needed one, sure.
Number 3. We talked about Thing Pwn earlier. Would you hug them, kiss them goodnight, tell them every little thing is gonna be alright, and would you stick your penis in it?
I don't know. Is Thingpone trying to kill me?
The jury is out.
Well, if I believed that Thingpone was trustworthy, I would say, you can stay over there. Please don't touch me. I like being a human being.
That is fair. I'm sure that this will be taken with a grain of salt. No, that's not the right thing. Taken into account. Number 4. Are pwners for boops, hugs, ear scritches, and hoof holding?
Sure. Yeah. Why not? They're very fluffy.
Yes.
And small, I imagine.
Very small. Up next. Are there any story themes you've been working on or wanted to see more of?
Want to see more from me or from other people?
In
Yes.
general.
Oh, I answered that one already, didn't I?
Yeah.
was talking
And
about
why is it horror? Yes.
Why is it horror?
Oh, look. There's questions from somebody we know, Priest. Who do we
It is.
know?
It's Flam's questions. Flam,
Oh shit!
you're up.
Who the fuck's that? Oh, right, that's me.
You.
Yes.
It is? Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Number 1. You've written a long fic that has gotten clearly a lot of attention. Has there ever been a time, or have you experienced, when one of your readers leaves a comment with a prediction or a musing of the future events, and it happens to be a million times better than anything you thought of initially?
Oh, this is gonna sound overly confident, but no. I there
Tell the
was a
story.
lot of there was a lot of there was a lot of speculation, especially near the end when it was posting about what was going to happen to Gabe. Um, and uh, a lot of suggestions were really dark. I was like, I'm not trying to. There's no like tragedy fic, or there's no tragedy tag. I wasn't trying to do that in the first place. Uh, but what did happen though is a lot of people guessed right what was going to happen. And again, like I said, that was an ending. There were a bunch of different endings that I had pre-written, and I eventually picked the one that I did because I felt that that was the best for the characters. I felt like it made the most sense. I felt like it tied up the story without obligating me to do a sequel, but leaving it open to one if I wanted to. And people guessed it, and I was like, oh shit, nice, well done. I didn't tell them that in the chat, of course, but um, that did happen a few times.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've had a couple experiences where someone says, "I'm calling it. It's this, this, and this," and I'm like, "Get the fuck! How the fuck? How did I not think of that? Like, that's
Yeah.
amazing." So, and then number two, what is your drive to keep writing as much as you do? I believe you partially answered this. Alternatively, how do you encourage your words to fall to the page without getting sidetracked, bored, or just flat out hating yourself for what you're writing?
Um, my drive to keep writing as much as I do is it's just something that I like. Uh I don't do it for like a job. I don't feel like burnt out of it. So it's just something that like if I have like a cool idea or I'm like, oh, I want to tell this thing, I'll do my best to make that happen. As far as trying to encourage the words to fall onto the page, listening to music that gets me in the mood or reading something else that is good. Like a lot of times I will be reading something and I'll get so excited about what's happening in that story that I'm like, oh, I want to go write my own story now. So that is the ways I do it. But I think that the best way to get the words onto the page is to sit there with the thing open until you actually write. Um, and something I think that everyone should do is if you're trying to get something done, make sure you write like every day, even if it's like one fucking sentence. Like
Hmm.
uh, keeping it in your mind, keeping it open on your computer, um, will keep it in your train of thought, um, and eventually, at least it has for me, that flow will always turn back on. Um, I hope that's true for everybody. Just keep at it.
Truth.
Mm,
Hmm.
And that's all I got.
that's all.
Flam, would you like to mosey into the Moose Tasm questions?
Sure. All right, we'll move on to, excuse me. Don't tell me I don't have internet. That's better. There you go. Mustasm says, "These are my questions. They may be the same as always, but I like them, damn it." So, is number one, Equestria, vacation spot or permanent residence?
Um, hmm. If I can't go back, like, can I visit home?
Yes, assume you have access to both places and that nothing will, no matter what you choose, nothing will really be affected, quote unquote.
I don't think I could give up that opportunity to see that for myself, um,
Hmm.
or to live that for myself, I guess. So, permanent residence.
Well, all right then. Uh, Two, cheeky timeline shenanigans. You must replace one piece of historical artwork, to include paintings, statues, literature, videos, whatever, with a piece of your own artwork. Your art will receive the same exposure as the replaced work, including public showings, readings, school assignments, being read in houses of worship, etc. What do you replace with what, and how's history changed?
Oh God, that's a heavy one. I'm trying to get through these pretty quickly because I see there's so many left.
Shitpost.
Um,
We're doing okay for
shit
time right
post.
now. Because Mugginy's questions are gonna go like fire. Don't worry.
Okay. Then I'll try and think about that one. I don't know. All the ones that I like know about are things that I think are better than anything I could ever do. Uh, and taking them away would be kind of a crime.
No one will
But
know though.
let's just say there's some like maybe medium level like I don't know, like reading story that gets read in like high school and college courses. Um, I'd swap some one of my stories out with that one. Um, but I don't know, that feels so weird. I would if I wanted exposure, I'd like want to earn it. I would want to know that it happened because I was good and not because I did a time heist.
That's fair.
And history is changed by me getting elected because I'm so fucking good at writing, and I can become president and be president and
President of writing.
be
Through
in the
horse
Oval
words.
Office. Yeah, and change the
Luna.
flag to rainbow colors and put a pony on it.
Luna.
Yes.
Hell yes. All right. And then number 3. If you were the very model of a modern major general, would you have information primarily animal, vegetable, or mineral?
I was in that show. I was in
Oh my
that.
god, you know this show. You know the song. Yeah.
I was in that. I stood off to the side and bounced while my modern major general did that, and then I sang the chorus.
That's awesome.
Amazing. So, wow, this one is actually physically relevant.
All right, Priesty Pie.
All right, we're going to Muggany. I
good.
personally enjoy going down shitpost lane with Muggany.
Nice.
And start by saying, I can't think of anything shitposty today, so here are some real questions. Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
No, number 1. What's the weirdest thing you've had to research for a project? Examples include something from school, work, fan fiction, etc.
The one that made me most uncomfortable was researching the effects of like to a very very detailed extent the effects of radiation exposure and what that does to human beings, and it's pretty messed up. I looked at a lot of pictures. You essentially rot from the inside out while you are still alive. Um, it's not good. It's
Mhm.
like being turned into a steak, um, and you are not cooked very well.
Yes.
Number 2, how often do you read? If you're a consistent reader, how do you find time to read?
Recently, I've been working my ass off, so I haven't had very much time to read. But I tend to read in between like shifts and stuff. If I have a couple minutes, I will I'll pull up a chapter of if it's a fan fiction that I'm reading, I'll just bring it up on my phone. If it's a book I'm reading, I'll pull it out of my backpack. Um, I will keep my book on me. Usually it's like a small one. Here and there is my answer. It's very rare that I actually have an evening to sit down and read, but those are really nice.
They are really nice. I miss them.
I miss them dearly.
Number 3, what is your favorite genre? Edit. I realize this was technically answered. Skip to the second part of this question, I guess. Is there any advice you want to offer for writing that genre?
Oh my god, that would mean I would have to know how to write it well.
That's not true.
um, I guess my advice would be uh it's about the reactions, but you have to set up situations where a character would react in a way that makes sense. So you have to work backwards a little bit. Like um if you want like a certain if the genre is like hurt and comfort or like injury and healing. Um if you want the character, for example, to have a moment where they like open up finally, then you can't just have that happen. If the character has been like closed off and traumatized, um, if they just suddenly do that, that kind of fucking doesn't make sense. So you have to have whatever character they're opening up to it to earn it somehow. I guess like that sort of thing. It has to make sense for it to mean something. The most frustrating thing is when characters happen or when characters make decisions that don't make sense. Uh, that is what bothers me.
Number 4. All right, let's get festive. Do you have a favorite shitty Christmas movie?
Ease mysteries.
I did answer this one already.
But is it a shitty Christmas movie?
I don't know.
Oh,
I feel
yeah,
like if they
definitely.
say, okay, good. I was worried that if I said it was shitty, Anon would get upset with me.
It's
like a
beautiful
pirate.
and shitty. It's
It's
beautiful and
very
shitty.
shitty. It's really shitty.
It is.
Okay.
It's
Let's
our
see.
shitty movie.
Number 5. What's an outdated product you wish made it into mainstream culture? Example, video now.
An outdated product. Oh, you know what annoyed me so much was when I was growing up, my older siblings had phones with keyboards, and I would see them flip them open and close them, and I always thought to myself, um, "Oh, I want that. I want that so bad." But we couldn't afford one for me, and by the time we could, um, the iPhone was a thing. And so I got my first phone was a touch phone. And those were really cool. But ever since then I've been like, God damn it. I never got to have that experience of being able to flip open my phone and have the whole keyboard with all the keys and be really good at pressing each individual one and having it all like slide back together. Like I loved how some of those old phones would open up. Um, and I recently saw, oh my god, I forget what brand it was, but there's a phone now with a bendy screen that you can flip it open. And I was like, I want that so bad.
I had
Um,
one of those phones, and I do agree. Like that, when I think on favorite phones, that was probably my favorite phone.
all right, scooting on since we do have 5 minutes left.
Number 6. What's your favorite video game of your childhood?
Fallout, we did answer that one already.
Yay.
Yes. Number
Important
7.
question time.
Do you want some Kool-Aid?
uh, okay, yeah, sure. I like Kool-Aid.
Number 8. Do you want some cool aid?
Oh, this reminds me of hot Kool-Aid. Oh, that's a deep cut. You guys might not get that.
I don't get that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But
Next question. Yes.
Number
again.
9. Do you want some Kool-Aid?
Yeah, sure.
Number 10. Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said yes.
Number 11. Would you like some Kool-Aid?
I'm glad I took my headphones off for that. Yeah, yeah, I would.
Okay, you may want to keep your number 12.
I already.
Drink the fucking Kool-Aid! Ah! Oh, that hurt my throat actually a little. I didn't come prepared with questions, so here's this. Number 13. How your day?
My day all right. I woke up, feeling good.
That good. It good that your day are good.
Mhm.
They're good for all. And only 2 question more.
Last but not least, we're going to empty plot filler.
Again, because they've bribed us.
Welcome back.
The trilogy. How do you pronounce story?
Story.
Drink.
Perfect.
Drink twice.
I'm out.
Number-
I ran out a long time ago.
Number 2. Also, if you enjoy instrumentals, you should check out Fox Armoire. YouTube and other sites host his music, and there are lots I could recommend for listening. while
Fox
writing.
Armoire? You mean Fox Amore?
A fox armoire.
Fox and more. I will check out
Fox-
Fox and more.
And
Fox
that's
Amore.
amore.
Fox
Fox
Amore.
Amore.
Fox.
Fucking Fox
Amore.
Armoire.
My God.
Oh my god. Okay.
Beautiful,
Well,
Priest.
in our last minute, if someone in the future goes, "Oh shit, I missed the cast. I didn't get to ask questions, but I really would like to send like Lynwood a message saying I think that they're amazing." What's the best way for them to reach you?
On FinFiction, I guess. Yeah, send me a DM. I'm always happy to respond. Just like I'm know that I won't respond immediately because I'm not always able to do that. But
It's
yeah, I'd love to hear from people. So don't
Yeah.
hesitate.
well, we've had the lovely Lynwood.
Yes,
if
Cyberdrake,
you
I
would
would.
be able to uh, please, if you are interested in following them, give them a follow on FimFic. They're so close to 1,000, guys.
They're so close. Let's get 1,000 followers. Woo!
And Her Eyes Reflect the Stars is an ongoing story that's currently ongoing for horror. And if you like it on pencil, you gotta read Her Eyes Reflect the Stars.
Yep, it's true. If you like me, you got to reflect that in that
the
story.
first 10
like the stars
chapters.
in her eyes.
Or sorry, the first 10 chapters is a pretty good primer. So if you want to know how the whole thing is, or not the whole thing, but like what the style is, then if you read past the first 10 chapters and you're like, this sucks, it's not going to change. So you can stop reading that.
Well, and really quick, a very special thank you to our viewers today for raising $75 for horse charity.
Wow.
Thank you, Cyberdrake, for your sub donation, and thank you, Cyberdrake, Empty Plot Filler, and Moostasm as the top donators of bits besides Priest, because Priest doesn't count because he's one of us.
It's true.
And just thank you for that. We really appreciate it. That all goes to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary. You guys are awesome.
So, without further ado, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Barcast. Your podcasters for today have been Anon Pencil.
He's Mr. Heat Miser.
Oh, it's Torque, by the way. Moostasm, it's Torque.
Okay.
Torque. Yee. Flam.
He's Mr. Snow.
Of course, Milk.
I don't know any of the lyrics of the songs, and pretend like I continued the joke.
He's Mr. White Christmas.
Our amazing guest, Lynwood.
Thank you very much. He's Mr. 10 Below, in case you were wondering.
I'm uncultured. Bye.
Bye,
Here's
everyone.
Thank you.
They
Thank you very much for having me, you guys.